Hi everyone, welcome back to my video. My name is Atia and today I'm going to go through all of the books that I acquired in January. So this is not going to include two major orders I made from Book Outlet because then the video would never end and I don't want that. So that's going to be a separate video that I'm going to record at a later date in the future. I don't know. I'm going to speed through this. So I'm not going to give the usual, this is what this book is about, this is what this book is about. If I've finished the book, then I'll give brief thoughts on it, but also you can check out a wrap-up. So a lot of these books, or a lot of them, some of these books are going to be in my January wrap-up, which should be out by now, and some of them are going to be in my February wrap-up. But without further ado, let's just get into it because I'm looking at 3 stacks of books. So, first book, The Kiss Quotient by Helen Wong. Cute. I read it already. Cute. 5 stars. Romance. There is both Asian representation as well as Asperger's representation. Love it. Go buy it. Yay. Moving on. A signed edition. Thank you, Barnes & Nobles. Of A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahara Mafi. Yikes. And this deals with Islamophobia in the wake of 9/11. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to do like descriptions, but I'm going to do a little bit blurb of what I do know. Haven't read it yet. I'm looking forward to it though. Alright, so next we have Next Year in Havana, part historical fiction, part not. It's a dual timeline about a grandmother and a granddaughter. Loved it, read it, 5 stars. Highly recommend. Next we have A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This is apparently a dark retelling, I don't know if it's dark, but this is apparently a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, which is one of my favorite books, one of my favorite fairy tales, so I got it. I'm looking forward to reading it in the upcoming, like, weeks. Yay. Moving on. Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. This deals with a fat girl and a guy who can't recognize faces. Which, saying that out loud sounds supremely weird. Also, really enjoyed this book. Go get it. Next we have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This follows 2 villains, I believe. It is great, and well, I don't know, I haven't read it. I'm looking forward to reading it. And also at the same time, I have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is a trilogy, I believe, about these different Londons with different varying degrees of magic in them. So I'm really looking forward to that. These are both adult, this is adult fantasy. I don't know if this is adult fantasy or adult sci-fi, not sure. Next we have Strange the Dreamer, which by Lady Taylor. I believe this follows a boy named Strange? What? Oh, Laszlo Strange. And he is obsessed with finding this place that apparently doesn't exist to some people. Next we have The Last Namsara by Kristen Cicerelli. This is a fantasy. It says a forbidden love, a kingdom at war, a secret that will change everything. When I first put this on my TBR, I knew all about it. I could tell you everything, and then I forgot a little bit, but I remembered that I wanted it, so I bought it, and I'm looking forward. And I'm kind of intrigued by the idea that I don't remember a lot about what it's about, because I just want to jump in and see where the world takes me. Next we have Mirage by Somaya Dowd, and this is about a girl who apparently is a stunning like lookalike to this princess who everyone hates, and there's been assassination attempts on this princess, and so they get this lookalike peasant person to fill in for the princess in public places, and I think she there's like a budding romance between her, the peasant girl, and the fiance of the princess, so drama, messy drama, I'm here for it. Then we have Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. This is, I guess can we call it a retelling, but it features, or it's surrounding the Sea Witch in Little Mermaid. Her backstory, what she was doing, her friends, and it says before she took the mermaid's voice, she gave up her own heart. And so I guess we're just going to get some insight and some background of Ursula and like what was she up to before she was out here stealing the voices of redheads. Who knows? We'll find out. Next we have Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett, which is a fantasy, and there's this girl called Trader Kate. Her dad was a trader, so she's been branded a traitor, and that's really all I know. That's all I remember, really. But I'm excited. I'm excited. And I want to read this. Probably in the spring. This feels like a spring read for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, last book of the first stack, so we're making some progress. This is Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. I already read this. If you want to find out my thoughts about that, you can look at my January wrap-up. Great book, hilarious. Recommend. Also, if you see that some of the books are going behind me and some of them aren't, it's because those books that you don't see are originally on this bookshelf, and so I'm just putting them back in their actual spot. Less work for me later. Alright, so next book that we have, is Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kammerer. Why can I never pronounce this woman's name? This is the same author as A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Yeah, this isn't fantasy though. This is a dark contemporary. This is real dark. I read this month in February, so look out for my February wrap-up to see my thoughts about it. Next we have The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker. This is, I want to say it's a sci-fi. Is it a sci-fi or is it a, I don't know, don't quote me on that. But basically there's this town where people just go into comas kind of, but they're not really comas. They start having these very vivid, intense dreams, and it starts like spreading throughout the town. And so the book is essentially just finding out like what the hell is happening. Essentially, that's all I know. That's all I want to know about this book. Also, gorgeous cover. Not why I bought it, but doesn't hurt that it's a pretty book too. 4321. This is I believe it's a contemporary. It follows these 4 teens who were in a massive bus crash in New York City. And they're the only 4 survivors, I believe. And so they go back to the site of this bus crash because there's apparently this art installation and just dealing with the guilt, I guess survivor's guilt. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. Next we have Monday's Not Coming. This is about a black girl in Virginia, I want to say. Her name is Claudia. She has best friend named Monday. Monday just vanishes out of thin air and no one seems to care except for Claudia. I'm actually in the middle of reading this book. I'm about a little bit more than halfway through. So if you want to see my thoughts on this, you can check out my February wrap-up. Faireborn by Claire Legrand. From what I know about this, it's a dual perspective on a dual timeline about these 2 women who are supposedly these long lost queens and they have to prove themselves. If that's not for both of them, it's for one of them. And that's all I know, and yeah, they're centuries apart. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. There's a little thickums. But I'm looking forward to this. This I feel like might be a March book. We'll see. Next we have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. And this is a psychological thriller. As you can see, I got this in Book of the Month box. And it is about this woman who suddenly just stops speaking. She's married to this dude, and then I think she kills a dude. I think, maybe. Oh yeah, she shoots him 5 times in the face. And the police can't find out why, so they bring some dude in, but the woman has taken a vow of silence and just won't speak. Next we have Black Enough. Black Enough is a collection of short stories. It's edited by Evie Zaboy. It features all these amazing black authors, and it's a bunch of short stories about being young and black in America, and it's very diverse even within that because you have diversity in blackness as well. Loved this. If you want to see my thoughts on this, you can check out my February wrap-up. Next we have The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tokole. Oh man. So what is this about? This is about a band of women, I think. A band of like women warriors or hunters or something. Remember? It reminded me of the Amazons. Yeah. Boneless Mercy. Boneless Mercy is an ancient female sect that has survived the rising and falling of kingdoms. That's all I really need to know. I don't really care about anything else. That's all I need to know. Looking forward to this. Next we have Trespasser by Tana French. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know much about this book. So what's happening here is I started off reading Tana French's Dublin Murder Squad, and I'm like 3 books in, I think. I'm so hungry. Like, wow. Next I have, these are the last 2 books of the second stack, and the third stack is a little bit shorter, so I'm actually very proud that I did this quickly. Next I have Lord of Shadows. Switch these. I have Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare and Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare, book 2 and book 3 in the Dark Artifices series. If you watched my January wrap-up, which you should, you know that I finished Lady Midnight in January. And if you're going, well, you should watch my February wrap-up. You'll see my thoughts on Lord of Shadows. And I will plan on reading this in March. We have The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. This is kind of like a self-help book. It's taking the world by storm. She has a series now on Netflix, which I started watching. I need to continue. And this is all about decluttering your life, minimalizing. What do you need? What don't you need? But not even I'm not even gonna say minimalizing. Bringing down the things you have to what you actually need and want, which I can appreciate. All right. Next, we have 2 books by Jesmyn Ward. We have Where the Line Bleeds, and we have Sing Unburied Sing. This one, I believe, chronicles a road trip to a state penitentiary. And this one chronicles 2 brothers whose parents are kind of like in and out of their life for various different reasons. I read Salvage the Bones in college by Jesmyn Ward. I remember really liking it. And really loving her storytelling. Why are these completely different sizes? That's weird. Really enjoying and really liking her storytelling. And I plan on not only rereading Salvage the Bones, but also just enjoying these 2 separately on their own. Next, we have AntiDarkened by Kirsten White. This is a fantasy. This is a fantasy about these 2 siblings. And they befriend, I think, like a crown prince or something like that. But the sister is fighting against everything the crown prince is like working to save, and the crown prince is like becoming friends with the brother, and so it's just conflict of interest. This was, I don't want to say it's an impulse buy, but I've been hearing about it and I just happened to be in Barnes & Noble's waiting for something else to happen, and I saw it and I read the description. I was like, this sounds pretty cool, so I picked it up. Next, we have Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell Precho. This is actually an arc. It's already out. It came out this month, and I wasn't gonna buy the finished copy, but when I saw it in Barnes & Noble's in hardcover, I was like, wow, that's a nice looking book, you know, very fierce, very nice. But this follows, it's about 2 sisters. One of them wants to be an ancient phoenix rider. The other one is like queen, I think. And just dealing with sisterhood and friendship, well, mostly sisterhood. I like going into fantasy not knowing every particular thing, because then like some things are surprises, so that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to eventually reading this. Next, we have Leia on the Offbeat. This, I don't want to call it a sequel, but it takes place in the same world as Simon versus the Homo sapiens, except we follow his best friend, Leia. Yay. Next, we have The Power. This is, by Naomi Alderman. This is literary fiction. It's supposedly very feminist. It's this world where women gain this like power or whatever, and some of them can like inflict death. So I'm really looking forward to this. Alright, I ran out of room behind me, but I only have 2 more books to talk about. So great. Next we have Red Clocks, which is some more feminist literary fiction, and it says, welcome to America, abortion is illegal, in vitro fertilization is banned, and the Personhood Amendment grants rights of life, liberty, and property to every embryo. In a small Oregon fishing town, 5 very different women navigate these new barriers alongside age-old questions surrounding motherhood, identity, and freedom. Last but of course not least, we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This follows this like journalist and this starlet from the whatever time, I don't even know. She's like an old lady now. She wants a journalist to kind of chronicle her life story, and it goes through her 7 husbands, and it answers apparently the age-old question, like, who was her one true love out of those 7 husbands and out of everyone that she like engaged with. It's taking me way too long to get this book. I'm ashamed that it took me this long, but I'm looking forward to finally picking this up and devouring it. And hopefully I like Taylor Jenkins Reid writing as much as everyone else does. So yeah, these rather, they're behind me. These are all of the books. Whoop. plus the ones that I already put away, that I bought in January. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this isn't including the massive book outlet haul that I did, which will just have to come at a later time because yeah, it just has to. But yeah, if you have any recommendation of books that I should buy, not that I need any recommendation, obviously. Books that I should read. Let me know if any of the books that I hauled this month that you actually hauled this month. If you've read any of them, tell me your thoughts. Don't spoil anything, please, because that's horrendous. But tell me your thoughts. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below with everything I asked you to comment about, but also just like comment down below and I will try to respond. Make sure that you share this video with all your book loving friends and subscribe so that you are aware when I post videos. Don't forget to push the notification bell so that you actually get a notification when I post a new video. I'm really trying to be good. I'm really trying to make it a habit to just post videos, record them, and then post them shortly after I record them. But you know, it's a muscle. You gotta get into the habit of doing it. It hurts sometimes. But yeah, don't forget to check out all of my social media, which I've like gone ghost on, but I will be posting more in the future, I promise. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.